Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Payday 2, one in which I've actually remembered to record the desktop audio. I had to set up a couple new things in OBS, but I'm not going to bore you guys with all the details. Let's just get into the mission. So this starts off with us having to actually rescue a mechanic. I thought you had to punch him to untie him. Not sure why that's how I thought that worked, but that's what I initially tried. So the fairly beat up mechanic, because I have electrical brass knuckles, is he's gonna head outside and fix up a bike for us. After we got the mechanic over to the truck, our first objective was to collect an engine. The engine was hidden in this like weird biker house. I'm not sure why this thing even exists. But regardless, I actually had difficulty finding the engine. I mean, there were literally crates spread around everywhere that I probably could have tried opening. If you were paying close attention, you would have noticed that like that crate, I literally walked past it and had an interact icon on it. So, I was really good at paying attention. Either way, I did end up finding the bike part, and the only thing I had left to do was to bring it down to the mechanic. Who, I'd give him the bike part, and then he'd sit there and complain about cops being too close to him for the next 3 minutes. My next task was to get a chrome skull for the bike. Yeah, a chrome skull that was like locked behind a metal door that I was gonna somehow burn through with a blowtorch. I know I'm as confused as you are. There's no way this blowtorch would be hot enough to burn through the door. Maybe like a thermite pack or something would be, but not a blowtorch. I guess I could be wrong on that. Either way, they kept the, no more than like $200 chrome skull. If that, it's probably like 50 bucks on Amazon, in a damn safe for some reason. Could not tell you why. But, they kept the like $400 to $600 engine wide out in the open. Actually, wait, let me Google that. What the hell does a bike engine even cost? So after a quick Google search, some engines can cost around $1,000 to $2,000 to replace. That's assuming you're replacing the entire engine. Some can even cost upwards of like $9,000. So this particular character that we're building this bike for is kind of like a big biker dude, used to belong to this biker gang and whatever. I'm assuming he's not buying like a cheapo junk engine. So this stupid like aluminum skull is in a safe. But the engine that costs thousands of dollars is not. I guess these are bikers who are also running like a drug trafficking operation, so they're probably not the smartest individuals, otherwise they'd be, doing honest work for a living. However, neither police nor bikers could stop me from taking this chrome skull and delivering it to the mechanic. The sooner I gave him these parts, the sooner he'd shut up and stop whining about, I don't know, whatever the hell he was gonna whine about. Either way, I managed to get the skull to him without too much issue, as there weren't a ton of cops in the area. For some reason, I didn't just throw this bag to him, as it wasn't actually a bag. I had to properly hand it to him for some reason. The next objective was to collect a seat for the motorcycle. Yeah, I don't know why the motorcycle parts are like spread around the compound and just locked in various places. But once again, we were going to have to drill through some big and like overly protective safe to get a fairly inexpensive bike part. In this case, it actually makes sense because this vault does also contain like guns and I think some drugs maybe. I'm not totally sure. But either way, the safe actually makes sense this time instead of just holding like a random $100 Amazon accessory. After breaking through the most likely overly large vault door, the only thing we had left to do to escape was actually just open this hatch in the floor and hand the last remaining bike part off to the mechanic, and then we could actually take the bike and finish day 1 of this mission. Now, I want to give everybody a fair warning here. This is going to be some of the worst driving you've ever seen. I don't know how I managed to mess this part up this badly, but I think I crashed into almost everything that you could reasonably assume that a person could possibly crash into. Not sure how I managed it again, but I somehow did. The handful of cops guarding my escape route were not enough to actually stop me, But they did give me a little bit of a scare, I won't lie. They did a decent chunk of damage. That, coupled with the fact that I kept running into things, which further delayed my escape, actually got me a little worried for half a second there. But I managed to make it through this tunnel, not without crashing into the side of it, and eventually get to the escape route. Yeah, I know, it took a minute. It was definitely a lot more suspenseful than it needed to be, but at least I hit a sick drift on my way to the escape hatch. Escape sewer. I don't know what you want to call it. Okay, so day 2 of the biker heist is probably Payday 2's most simple and straightforward mission. It literally just entails you running to one end of the train, killing somebody for their key card, and running back. Additionally, on this run, I got train car placements that I was really happy with. Essentially, what I personally like to see is as many of these train cars as you actually have to go through. There are a couple that involve climbing ladders to move up, and then also like going over flat surfaces with not a lot of cover. These interior train cars, I guess, are great because snipers from the outside can't get you, and you really only have to kill the people on the inside, which is normally a handful of bikers, maybe a cop or two. Here's the type of train car that I don't like to see. You kind of have to go up, and then it's a very flat surface with a lot of police officers on it. In this case, I was advancing forward so quickly that it really didn't matter. There was only a couple cops that had time to actually get up there. Then this last train car actually does have some cover. You can kind of hide behind those sandbags if you need to. But this one right here, by far my least favorite train car. I've had a couple runs get screwed up because there was just probably 50 guys there maybe, if not more. I believe this is the final train car, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it is. So the lady with the LMG and the mask is the one I have to kill to obtain a key card that is like holding a US missile defense helmet thing. Technology's pretty cool. I also don't know why this lady has it and why the police aren't trying to retrieve it, because she doesn't look like she belongs with the US government. I don't know, I might be wrong. But regardless, at this point I just kind of ignored the loss of one of my crewmates, used the key card, and grabbed the helmet, the BCI helmet. I don't know if BCI stands for anything fancy, but I don't particularly care because it's worth a lot of money in-game. I was also going to take a couple of these weapons stashes, and then pretty much anything else I could find sitting around. I wasn't going to go for like a max loot run or anything like that. If I had 4 people with me, I probably would. Hell, if I even had one other person with me, I probably would, but I'm honestly not willing to risk it. Although, to be fair, I think this was only the very hard difficulty, so it probably wouldn't have actually been that hard to grab some more bags. But as you can see here, cops pile up on this map very quickly. Those red beams are actually snipers, if not turret helicopters, which are even worse because, you know, they're incredibly difficult to kill, even when you have a full squad of people with you. Unlike, you know, just killing one sniper, which are essentially one-shot, I believe. I don't think there's a single weapon that doesn't one-shot a sniper. The turret helicopters are just multiple layers of armor. They deal a lot of damage very quickly. And overall, they're just kind of a pain to deal with. But either way, I managed to get pretty far down on the train before eventually realizing that the lady that rezzed me actually dropped the helmet bag, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 cars down. You can see the brief outline of it over there. But yeah, that's the thing I need to grab to complete the mission. So I have to backtrack through all of these police officers and grab the bag and then, you know, go back the way I came. There's a friggin' dozer right there. You got a medic. You got a couple more just general grunts. I don't know if those have any particular names to them. But either way, there was one of those giant black dozers. I don't know if those things are actually better in any way than the normal green ones. They seem to have the same amount of armor. They might do more damage, something like that. But either way, we had the helmet now. All we had to do was just dump it into this helicopter and not retrieve any of the loot that we had previously taken because John Wick was down at the other end of the damn train car. So I just decided to leave anyway. But yeah, so that concludes the second or third episode of Payday 2 on this channel. I've already lost track anyway. But if you did enjoy it, please make sure you hit like, maybe toss me a subscribe. That'd be greatly appreciated. But that's all I got for today. Hazmat out.